I was just exhausted. And I'm like, you know what? I could sit here and stare at this screen and try to pound this out, or I could go lay down, recharge, and either come back better tomorrow or come back better this afternoon.
When you get to that place where you're pushing and you're not creative, you're fooling yourself. You're not doing good work, and you're actually not doing any work.
Yes.
If you looked at what you did in the last 5 hours, you're like,
I've been learning that. Where I'm like,
what
this
did I do?
Actually is not productive work anyways.
You're going to be able to do double the next day because you actually gave yourself some room. Robin, welcome to the podcast. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
This is so fun. I just got to have you as a speaker at our Elite Entrepreneur Mastermind. Mm-hmm. And also you and I go way, way back. We go back to 2018, Lewis Howes Mastermind. Shout out to Lewis Howes.
Shout out to Lewis. That's kind of wild to think about.
It's wild. You know, we talk about that mastermind all the time because of who was in that particular group, not just that year, but it was kind of like the couple years surrounding. I think he did it for 3 years, 3 or maybe 4. We were in it for, I think I was in it for 2 or 3. I can't remember. Chris was in it for 3 for sure. But we talk about how that group that we met is still in our life, or a lot of them have popped off. Like, you know, we had within those years, I can't remember if it was the same year as us. It was like Jenna Kutcher, Jasmine Starr, Bill Glazer, who we still talk to and work with, who's helped me with my fundraise multiple times. Like I would have never been able to launch my company without him. Like there were so many pivotal people that we met. Yeah. And you know, there were a lot of other ones in there too who are great, but you just kind of find your people whose energy you click with.
Totally.
And they stay in your life. And it's been so much fun that you and I have been able to stay in each other's lives. We've traveled to Europe.
I know.
A great European trip. I know. It's been one of those things that I'm like, oh, like Chris and I were reflecting after the mastermind that you guys had just spoke at a few months ago. And I was like, they are just like really solid people that we're so lucky to have. And we may not get to talk to each other all the time at all. Yeah. But I feel like we get to show up for each other. Yeah. Like I really feel like I'm like anything that the Longs need. I am like, what do you guys need? Please tell me. Because it's a pleasure. It's just like a life pleasure to be friends with you guys. It really is.
Thank you.
You're such an incredible human. And we're going to talk about this, but you're a mother of 4 children. Yes. You lead a very busy life. You're such a role model for so many people. And that was another reason we wanted to have you in the mastermind is we wanted a woman who is also not just a role model in business, but we really love to bring people in who like they're making it happen in their family. And while I know you're like, okay, sometimes it feels like we're not making it happen, like you really are making it happen in the most beautiful way. So we're going to dig into that as well. But I'm so excited to share the story of what you've done because you have one of the largest online Pilates communities. You've had this for a while and you like, this is insane what you've been able to create. I believe you're at or beyond 25,000 members. And I know that's been like, I know how many people that you have had on there. I don't even know what that number is like, but this is what you have like monthly. Yeah. Which is like, that is, sorry, we're going to brag for a while. I'm not even letting her talk yet because you guys have to understand who we're about to open conversation with. So that just, it does not happen. It's so rare that happens. It's like I could count on one hand the number of people who have communities like this who just roll so deep with you. So we're going to dig into what has made this like incredible community that's so heart-centered. What has gone into that? My friend calls it a love brand. What has gone into something that is just like such a beautiful brand? And how have you been able to, you know, sustain that with your health? Your life, your family, the ups, the downs, all the things. So, okay, I want to dig into that. So your company is called Lindywell. I want you to tell me a bit about how that all began for you.
Yes. So I've been doing this for about 12 years. So when you think about the depth of our community and the size of our community, I just think of, gosh, it's been 12 years of pouring in and building. And for me, I started as a Pilates instructor. So teaching in Equinox, in private studios. I started teaching out of my home. Basically, if you've ever been a fitness instructor, you know, you just teach anywhere and everywhere.
You just do whatever you can.
You take any hour of day, you know, and waking
like,
up
are those scraps given to me? Yeah.
Oh, totally. I'm at the park trying to get like people showing up for park lessons, you know, anything you can do to try to.
I was behind the tree at the park watching you doing your class. I'm just kidding.
Right. Totally. You do anything and everything. So I was doing that for a long time, really trying to build that business. And I think that gave me a lot of great experience of what it looks like to build a clientele, build a business. That's where I learned customer service, right? How do I actually connect with my clients and create meaningful relationships with them so that they come to me for Pilates versus anyone else out there who may have more experience or maybe at a better time slot than I was, so it started there. And when I was in the fitness industry, I started to realize my unique approach and that I wasn't really necessarily fitting in the fitness industry in the same way I felt like everyone else was. My journey for Pilates and wellness really was born out of years of being really unhappy with my body and really actually beating up my body and trying to fix my body, wishing it was different, restricting my food, like unhealthy in so many ways.
I resonate.
So many women do.
For sure.
So many women do. And even if they don't say it out loud, we all have this kind of journey we've been on with our bodies over the years and our thoughts and how we relate to our body. So for me, Pilates was very healing, and it actually helped me to transition out of some of those unhealthy habits and into seeing exercise as a way to care for myself, as a way to reconnect with my body, as a way to build strength, do all of those fitness things that I care about, but do it in a way that wasn't about punishment or just focused on calorie burn. So that was overflowing into my clients and how I was training them and recognizing, gosh, the transformation that they have when they start to make this shift into reconnecting to their body, befriending their body, truly caring for their body. And what does that actually look like? I realized, that's not the norm in the fitness industry, right? Most people are there to just burn calories, leave it all out on the floor, just like crush themselves to then be able to go eat calories and then come back and do it all again. So that's where some of it started. And I started realizing, okay, what am I going to do with this? Because I care about this so much, but I don't really fit into the traditional mold of fitness. And at the same time, I became a mom. And during that time, I also realized that, oh my gosh, my world just got flipped upside down.
Yeah.
I can't go to the typical Pilates class or gym class, or, I have like this much time during nap time to get some work done and clean the house and, maybe get a workout in. And most of the fitness options at the time, and remember, this was like a decade ago, were really hour-long workouts,
Totally.
Some of them were even like 2 a day, like, here's what we're doing, girls. And it was kind of hardcore.
Oh yeah.
And I realized I cannot do that. And I feel really guilty about it. And I don't know how to care for myself in this season, and I can't be the only one. So that is when I started blogging about it, writing about it online, started putting YouTube workouts up for Pilates, short 10-minute workouts, things like this that kind of spoke to the season that I was in and the struggles I was navigating. And then that is what has evolved into now what it is today, which is basically the same bones, but we've had a lot of evolution over the years too, even in terms of the name, the brand, the way we're delivering the workouts. But the core of really helping women reconnect with their bodies, do it in a way that is sustainable, works with real life, has stayed the same for, more than a decade.
So Pilates is definitely having a moment right now. First of all, I'd love to hear what you think of that, why you think that's happening. I mean, it was popular for a bit, but honestly, it wasn't popular all over. Like I'm from the Midwest, and we were like, what the hell is Pilates?
Totally.
So
totally.
Why do you think that's happening now? What actually drew you to it back in the day? Like what made you just be like, this is it for me?
Yeah. For me, I remember my first Pilates workout. And I remember coming out of the studio and just feeling like, I have never felt this good physically.
Wow.
Like the stress melted away from my body. I didn't even realize the tension I was holding in my body until I took that Pilates class, and the instructor guided me through how to release some of that tension in my body. So I got this like physical release of tension and stress, but at the same time, I got like a killer workout. I felt new muscles that I didn't even know I had. But then I came out feeling energized versus feeling exhausted.
Totally.
And like, I can't do anything for the rest of the day. Or
like
what
you need
I
a
used
nap.
to do.
Totally.
I used
to
go be like, oh my gosh, I just worked out so hard. I am going to get a venti frappuccino and then I'm going through the drive-thru. Like that was my
10
reward.
years ago is so good. 15 years ago.
That was what I was like, I crushed it in my workout. And then I would like be starving and then I'd go do that. And then this was kind of the cycle I was in, which actually wasn't a very healthy cycle for me.
Yeah.
So Pilates, I remember noticing I walk out or when I finish a workout, even at home or wherever, I was like, oh, I feel like I got a great workout, but I feel energized. I feel steady. I feel like I can go into the rest of my day with more intention than like instead of being exhausted and just kind of depleted. So that was for me one of the big differences. And then I noticed how much stronger I was getting. And I wasn't even like killing myself, in the workouts. I was like, wow. I remember feeling new muscles and being like, I have more control. I have less stress. And one of the reasons I think it's picking up so much popularity now is we're starting to understand the importance of the nervous system and mindfulness and the power of the mind-body connection, especially for women, especially as you get into midlife and you're, needing to support your hormones at different levels. I think Pilates, people are finally starting to recognize how powerful it is in a way that is really supportive of women's health and then even for men too. It's not necessarily in the same way they're focusing on their hormone levels in the exact same way, but the mobility, the posture, being able to do things for a long time, right? If you want to golf for many years, if you want to be a runner for many years, if you want to lift weights for years, having Pilates at the core is like a foundational form of exercise that will support you to do that. I think people are just realizing that.
Oh my gosh. So from a long-term hardcore HIIT training, Soul Cycle, high intensity, Monday, Wednesday, Friday workout, which I still do. I still lift Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Yeah. But I will say so much has changed and flipped for me in the best way. So I've recently started going to Pilates. Now it's been about maybe 7 months. Yeah. Maybe 6. I don't know, 6 to 8. Enough to be life-changing. I go twice a week. And at first I was like, this is recent. Like, I am a lifting girl. Yeah. And I ran for a long time, but then it was lifting and walking. And that felt really good because I knew that I just kept raising my cortisol with all of my workouts. Right. And like you said, I didn't know how tired that was making me. Right. I just thought everybody got tired at 3 p.m. and needed a nap. Yeah. And as soon as I switched my workouts to stop doing these super high intensity things, I actually started eating less. Yeah. Shockingly less. Yeah. Like I used to be hungry all of the time because of my HIIT training. And I was like, what's wrong with me? I'm ravenous. Yeah.
And the cravings.
Yes,
right?
cravings
just
were
more
insane.
Cravings. Yep.
And then I was also just absolutely exhausted at 3 p.m. every single day. So now I do even train differently in my workouts because of this whole, I think Pilates has introduced to me, just lowering the cortisol and also enjoying the workout more. So even in my lifting workouts, I don't go as hard. I don't do as much. I'm actually doing 3/4 to half of what I used to do in one workout. Yeah. And that actually feels so good. It's a little more slow. It's a little more intentional. And I'll tell you, I'm 44 and I used to literally make fun of people in their 40s because I'm like, you're not sore. I'm like, you just, in your 30s, you're you just don't work out enough. You don't stretch enough. And I'm like, oh shit, I'm sore. My neck is tight. Right. And one of the things I've noticed is that Pilates, to all the girls who are maybe anti-Pilates on here, I'm telling you, if you're a workout girl at all, I have noticed how much better my lifts are. Yes. I feel so much stronger. I feel like I'm going to be able to do this forever. Yes. All the joints and muscles around my knees, my hips, my back, things that were starting to hurt no longer hurt.
I love to hear that.
I feel younger in my body now than I did in my 20s. And I'm not even kidding you because of how supported I feel Pilates has made everything else.
I love that you're saying that because I think the conversation often is Pilates or weights. Yep. Which should you be doing? Is Pilates really enough or weight training this? And really it's both. Like, I think it's phenomenal to do both. And what you're feeling and what you're describing is exactly what it should do for you. Joseph Pilates used to say, like, you're only as old as your spine feels. Like, basically, you know, so you're taking care of your body, your joints, your core, that power you're feeling when you're lifting that allows you to lift with more form and more intention. So you can do what we talk about a lot at Lindywell is doing less, but with more intention, right? Because you could spend, and you've done this and I've done this, you could spend an hour and a half at the gym and get a great workout, or you could spend 40, 30 minutes in there and be very intentional with your movements, making sure you're staying connected to your muscle and your movement, you're challenging yourself and get just as good of a workout, if not better, right? So I love what you're hearing. And how do you feel when you walk out of a Pilates class? Like, do you experience that same feeling that I felt of like, just energized and like you can go take on your day?
Always. Yeah. And I think there's a beautiful, you know, I know that yours is online, but there's also a beautiful community aspect where I get to be in person, but also your community rolls deep. Like it's a really strong community. So I do think the gym is great. And I do have a workout partners now, which is life-changing, but I think Pilates communities roll pretty deep. And I think that's also really, really special. But I feel energized. I feel great in my body. Like you said, I feel, you guys, I am a lifting girl through and through, but I have never felt so strong in my core and my back, which has changed so much.
Feeling.
I've noticed, we'll say, I'm pushing hard on your app here because it is like, my core looks the best it's ever looked, ever. And I am like I'm a lifting girl. And I just thought, I was like, this is as good as it's going to get. And I went and did Pilates for 6 months and I'm like, wow, like it's just
muscles
different.
You didn't even know.
Totally different.
Muscles you didn't even know existed. Right. Yeah. You get to so many different layers of core strength in Pilates. So I love that you're experiencing that.
Yeah. I like just preach about it to all my friends. I literally have a crew of like 5 or 6 that like so fun. That go to Pilates.
That's
all the
so
time.
helpful.
So I love it. This is why I'm just so excited to talk to you too, because Pilates I really think is, once you allow yourself to get into it, because I think for high achievers,
yes, I was going to add
it is hard to get into. And it was hard for me. I had to be convinced. I had to take a few classes. And then there was a weird addiction thing that happened. I don't know if you can explain that or tell me why this happened. Yeah. Tell me your thoughts on, we have some high achievers listening to this. How do we convert? How do we convert them?
I'm right there with you. Yeah. Right. Enneagram 3. Like,
same.
Love to achieve, love to set goals, love a checklist, love a color-coded notebook. And that's actually what got me into trouble with my body.
Yep,
so,
same.
Right. So this is a common theme among high achievers. So instead of thinking of it as, you know, oh, you're dialing it back to do these sort of low intensity workouts, I think that you need to think of it as being incredibly intentional to care for yourself so that you can actually continue doing the things you want to do in your career. The reality is our nervous system matters. And as entrepreneurs, as high achievers, we are often being stimulated all day long, right? We're putting out fires. We're leading people. We have challenges. We have to get on camera and, you know, film something really quick, then run to a meeting. We've got all kinds of things coming into our inbox each day that are spiking our cortisol levels and putting us in our adrenaline, you know, go state of being. So when you then go to a workout that puts you into that same state of being, more cortisol, more adrenaline, burning out the body, that's when we can end up being depleted. And that's what was happening to me. I couldn't understand why I was feeling worse after my workouts, like less tired. You know, people say exercise is supposed to energize you. I was feeling more tired. I was feeling exhausted. And as soon as I recognized the connection between what my workouts were doing to my nervous system and the nervous system state I was living in all day as an entrepreneur and a mom of 4, I mean, literally around the corner, someone's screaming every 2 minutes. You know, it's like, it's not an exaggeration.
Yeah.
So I realized my workouts need to be supportive of that nervous system. And this is true for all high achievers. So thinking of dialing down the intensity in some of your workouts to really get yourself into a place where your body feels safe, where your body can slow down, you can breathe, you can quiet your mind a little bit. I think one of the most powerful things of Pilates is the concentration that it brings.
It really does.
It's basically like a moving meditation because you have to be very present to every exercise, right? Your instructor is cueing you through how it should feel in your core, where your legs should be, where your hands should be, these tiny movements. So you spend that whole time during the workout focused on that and that alone while breathing intentionally, while moving your body. You're getting this sort of trifecta of meditation, movement, and breath.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the best things you can do for your nervous system. So for our high achievers who just think they want to push, doesn't mean you can't push occasionally.
Yep.
Have a hard gym day or high intensity workout, maybe 1 or 2 times a week if you're in a healthy spot.
Mm-hmm.
But making sure that you are also bringing your nervous system down is actually going to bring you better results
Mm-hmm.
physically, mentally, and so you can show up and do your job better as well.
Mm-hmm. It's truly everything that you're saying around looking back at how I used to wake up and work out. It's just like every day I didn't feel complete or good about myself if I wasn't like hitting this certain exhaustion.
Mm-hmm.
And what actually had to make me change was starting my company in 2020 because my levels of stress went up so much and the capacity of holding newness every single day. And I still feel like I am in that same state.
Yeah.
I actually couldn't keep up with the workouts that I was doing.
Yeah.
And I remember feeling like I was failing. And I was like, I have to find something else. And first I just went to walking, which really, really helped. I just needed that. I needed that in my life
air,
for a while.
Movement. Yeah.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm like, oh, I want to go. And exactly like you said, there's something magical about the focus, especially for an achiever.
Yes. Yes.
I can still be intentional. I can still be getting better at something.
Oh, you can still be challenging yourself. That's the misconception,
you're
right?
bad every day
not
at
like
Pilates.
you're going.
You can get better.
Exactly. It's like, I think when you look at Pilates, it looks like you're just flowing through movements.
No.
When you're doing it, you are still challenging yourself very hard.
I'm like 8 months in, and today I was like, wow. I'm like shaking all over.
Yeah.
This is a new move. I don't know what I'm doing.
Think you've got it. You push it harder and you're shaking again. So you never really master it.
And I think for anybody listening, I do think there's really important seasons in your life to notice where maybe you've been stuck in a routine or ritual that you might think feels really good and you can't live without. But I believe for all of us, like to switch up your routine is one of the biggest gifts that you'll reflect back on at month 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Of giving it some time, switch up the routine for the brain. You're going to get new thoughts.
Yeah.
You're going to meet new people. You're in a new space. You're in a new energy. You're just learning new things. It gives you so much more to talk about. You relate to, I know that you feel this way, so I can't wait to hear about your perspective because so much of my life runs parallel to things I've learned in fitness.
Yeah.
Like entrepreneurship.
Yes.
I'm sure for you, parenting and what that looks like. How have you noticed for yourself? Like what are some themes in Pilates that you have really noticed like run parallel to life of maybe how you learn things or how you've been challenged? Like how does that help you look at life?
That's a great question.
Okay, ladies, I have to tell you that the bane of my existence has been shopping for bras and underwear because I wear so many different styles of outfits. I'm always dressing up, but I also want to be comfortable and I want them to disappear underneath your clothes so there's no panty lines and I can also wear them underneath any type of top that I want. And I can tell you that my life has become so much easier because I have found the Fits Everybody collection from SKIMS and there's nothing like it, you guys. It feels incredible. It molds to your body and it's like you're not wearing anything underneath. If you haven't tried these yet, you absolutely have to. You guys have been wearing them for about 6 months and I've absolutely replaced all of my bras and underwear. So if you want your life to get easier, let me tell you, I'm going to share some of my favorite products. So I consider myself a bralette connoisseur. So I got the Fits Everybody Triangle bralette and I'm amazed at this product. The brand provides amazing support and lift, but I don't feel like it's suffocating me at all or cutting in anywhere. So I don't know what kind of magic they put in this fabric, but it's like nothing I have ever felt. It's buttery, it's soft, it's beautiful. I love the colors. Shop SKIMS Fits Everybody collection at skims.com. After you place your order, be sure to let them know we sent you. Select podcast in the survey and be sure to select our show in the drop-down menu that follows. That's Earn Your Happy. And if you're looking for the perfect gifts for everyone on your list, the SKIMS Holiday Shop is now open at skims.com. Are you looking to take your business's marketing to the next level? Meet Brevo, the all-in-one marketing and CRM platform designed to help you connect with customers, drive engagement, and grow your business. With Brevo, you can manage all your customer interactions in one place, nurture leads through their built-in CRM, and reach them through email and SMS, and boost retention with powerful automations. Effortlessly create personalized multi-channel campaigns that ensure every single customer gets the right messages at the right time. And that's not all. Brevo offers AI-driven personalization, advanced analytics, seamless integrations, and more, giving you everything you need to market smarter and not harder. Get started for free today or use code HAPPY to save 50% on starter and business plans for the first 3 months of an annual subscription. Head to www.brevo.com/happy and take your marketing further with Brevo.
Yeah, there's so many connections and similarities. I think of one of the core principles of Pilates is balance, which I know balance is a word where there's all kinds of feelings around it now of like balance is possible, balance is impossible, balance is good, balance is bad. My company used to be called The Balanced Life before we rebranded. And regardless of how you define balance, right? Like I think the misconception is that we think balance means all things perfectly balanced at all times. But Pilates is a great example of part of what makes Pilates so powerful is the balance between stretching and strengthening exercises. The balance between there's really a push and pull in every exercise, right? The opposition, you feel that. You're stretching a leg out, but you're pulling your abs in, or you're lengthening this way, but you're pushing that way. There's this tension that's a healthy tension and balance, or even literal balance exercises. And what I love about that connection of balance exercises, if you think about when you're balancing, you're not standing perfectly still. You're actually wobbling. Right? And that's a great thing. Your body is designed to wobble. You don't need to not wobble. That is how you hold your balance.
Yeah.
And so when I think about that in terms of life and growing a business and all of the things we're juggling each day is just kind of finding that tension point, whether it's day to day, whether it's in a season of life of kind of what does that balance look like for me now? Sometimes it is going to be like for you in the season that you're in, right? It's a lean in season. You're taking on big responsibilities, big tasks. You're really stretching yourself. It's a heavy carrying season. There are going to be other seasons where you're like, this is one where, you know what, I'm going to allow some breathing room until I do my next thing or until this next event happens. So I think it happens daily. I think it happens seasonally. And that's something that I really try to live within, not trying to find perfection, but just trying to find that kind of alignment and balance in the tension of life that we all experience.
Why do you think this message and what you're talking about and what you're doing is resonating so deeply with women right now?
At Lindywell, we're not just talking about fitness.
Yeah.
And I think that's the biggest maybe misconception or what people don't realize. But once you join or once you're in our community, you realize we're talking about so much more. And I think that's what resonates. So we're speaking to the heart of women, the struggles we've all had with our body over the years, the desire, or I shouldn't even say desire, it is a desire, but it's the pressure to be smaller, be stronger, be less wrinkly, be more toned, be more thin, right? We have this pressure on us as women. And at Lindywell, we speak directly to what would it feel like to work from where you're at right now, accept where you're at right now. Doesn't mean we can't be trying to get stronger, get better, improve ourselves. We all want to become the healthiest version of ourselves, but what does it look like to give yourself grace over guilt and be kind to yourself? So we really talk a lot about self-compassion and how we embrace that is actually one of the best ways to promote change. So we often think that the more critical we are of ourselves, the more self-criticism, the more we beat ourselves up, the more likely we are to achieve our goals, to be more consistent with our workouts, to be more successful in business. But the research shows that actually self-compassion is one of the most effective tools to actually create change in your life and change that lasts. So we're bringing that into fitness. And I think when women experience what it feels like to extend self-compassion to themselves, often for the first time ever in their life, that's a big shift. And it frees you up then to exercise for different reasons, eat well for different reasons, take care of yourself for different reasons. And that's far more motivating than doing it for your inner critic and the self-criticism, right? It completely changes what it feels like in your life and how consistent and successful you'll actually be.
Yeah. I'm listening to you and I think some people listening, and I'm curious for you, did you have a period where it actually feels not right letting go of mean coach in your head? Like you're no, this worked for me.
Oh, yes.
But mean coach has an expiration date.
Yeah.
And so if it's not working anymore, it's because you've reached the expiration date. And everything that you've said, this, just like we were talking about, runs parallel in business.
Yes.
Like I was able to mean coach myself for a while in business, like get more done, do this. Why didn't you do that? You loser. Like these things that we say in our head, or like, why aren't you like her? Like she's able to do it. All of these things. That does not work for me in the season. I cannot do it anymore. Like it actually, where it used to work and it like used to motivate me.
Yeah.
Now it shuts me down.
Yes.
And now I think it's because I don't have the energy to even like be in whatever energy that was whatever kind of like chaos cortisol energy that was. And now I'm in a season of like proud. Like I'm talking to that little girl inside of me. I'm talking to like, wow, I'm so proud of what you're doing. This is a lot to hold. This is like what you asked for, but let's acknowledge how much this is.
Yeah.
Like most people aren't doing this.
Right.
What do you need in this season to support you?
Yes.
Who do you need to call right now? Do you need an SOS friend? Like, do you need to collapse on your husband tonight? Do you need to tell him, you know, like, what are you needing? And that's been just so insanely life-changing for me. I could never go back to mean coach around food, around business, around friendship, around how I look, like all of those things. And so I love that you are, I hope for anyone listening, I understand, like Robin and I are sitting here fully understanding the, like you feel so tied, like actually tied to mean coach or to whatever you believe. Yeah. You know, maybe it was a high school literal coach that someone's voice in your head. Yeah. Like it can feel like you don't know who you are without that, and that you won't be successful, and that you're going to gain weight, and that you're going to feel terrible, and you're going to be, you know, you're going to lose your business or lose money. I promise you, given enough time and enough like being in someone's presence like Robin, like being coached around it too is so important to rewire that. How long do you think that when people come in, what's a bit of an expectation around some rewiring? Because do you get a lot of women who are coming from different workouts coming in?
Oh, yeah.
Or like no working out at all?
Oh, yeah. A lot. Or just from years of starting and stopping.
Yep.
And then beating themselves up for not being able to be consistent.
Oh, that's
right?
huge.
That's where so many women live. Like just years of maybe spurts here and there, but then, or they've lost the weight, they've gained the weight, they've had the kids, they've had the surgery, whatever it is, and they're just tired. To your point of the expiration date, I think that's it. At a certain point, that can work for you. And at a certain point, it stops working or it's just too exhausting to even keep up with. And I agree with what you said. Like we know because we've lived this, right? So we understand how hard it is. And I think initially, just hearing other people approach it differently is enough to give you a little glimmer of, wait, there's another way. And they're being successful, right? I think you have to see the two things together. So whether it's in fitness, right? Oh, she's not using the mean girl to beat herself up to exercise and stay healthy. And she's still able to stay healthy and maintain a consistent lifestyle, right? So proof that it can happen. Same with business, right? Oh, she's doing this differently. She's being kind to herself. She's giving herself what she needs. She's listening to her body. She's seeking support, and it's working for her. Like first, just seeing that it's possible, because usually we're surrounded by the other message, right? We're usually surrounded by harsh voices and critics and just keep up and just do more and the feeling of not being enough. Then the counter to that is that it kind of is a lifetime journey. So I have changed
it's every day, guys.
Much. Right. I am so far from where I was when I started this journey of where I used to really just spend all this time in my head beating myself up. And yet here I am. And I share this openly with my community all the time. Even last week, I had a video shoot. And again, I've been coaching myself in this for years, changing my mindset. I teach others how to do it. And yet what goes into my head? Immediately, how am I going to look on camera? How, you know, how have I been eating? Have I gained weight? Have I like blah, 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 blah.
All of it.
All of those thoughts. So it's not that it's not there, but it's what I do with it and how I respond to it that has changed so much. So where that used to lead me down a path of, oh, well, I should restrict what I'm eating and I should and beat myself up about it. Instead, I'm just like, okay, I hear that inner critic. I hear that voice. I'm here to teach women how to truly be well. And that means in their mind as well as their body, right? So I am not here to show someone what a perfectly chiseled body looks like. That's actually not my job. That might be someone's job. That's not mine. Mine is to show up and show women how to care for themselves where they are today, to connect with their body, feel good in their body, regardless of the size, the shape, the season of life that you're in. So I bring myself back to my mission. That allows me to show up. And I've been doing something new even recently, which is from Louise Hay. This concept, maybe you've heard of it before, of basically just looking in the mirror and saying, I approve of myself. And something about that simple phrase has been changing me. At first, it didn't really resonate. I thought it's a little silly. I don't know. Of course, I approve of myself. I'm a pretty confident person, just kind of move on. But the more I have sat with it, those words of I approve of myself and looking in the mirror. So before that video shoot, right? Putting on my spandex, getting ready to go out and film. I approve of myself. Really letting that sit and be true. Same within business, right? How often do we beat ourselves up at the end of the day?
Yeah.
Because we didn't get more done, because we have someone on our team who's unhappy with us, because we didn't hit a goal. It's just this constant, I could be doing more. I could be doing better. I could be doing more. I could be doing better. But even in business, I've been applying that, like, what if I approved of myself? What if I actually approved of myself at the end of the day? I led my team the best I could. I made the best decisions I could with the knowledge that I have. I listened to my body and gave as much energy as I have available today. Really looking at it that way and leaning into that is something I've just been playing with. And it's been really powerful because it's that self-compassion, and it's a very practical way to just kind of extend it to yourself over and over and actually let yourself feel like enough.
You're really making me think of like piecing. I think we're comparing ourselves to thinking of these people who are doing like 100% of everything every day. Like I know realistically people aren't doing
Nobody
that,
is.
but I'll get on Instagram and it looks like they are. And so I think I always have to remind myself, like, I love the I approve of myself, because I think that we are piecing together, instead of looking at it as days anymore, I kind of look like, what kind of week am I piecing together? So I will put a checklist that would make me happy for the week. Instead of like looking at these days, I'm like, no, this is very feasible. This feels good and doable. And guess what? Sometimes Monday through Wednesday gets away from me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, I did nothing. And instead of going, oh, well, I feel so bad about it, I'm like, oh, well, I just have these things that I said, this is a good week, or I would feel good if I got most of these things done.
Yeah, I love that.
So now I can kind of look at my week, or like that's really helped me go, looking at these people online makes me think they're doing everything every day. And I'm like, actually, we're kind of just trying to piece together some good weeks, even in terms of like what we're doing in fitness sometimes, what we're doing in our business, because you will not be 100% every day.
No.
Oh my gosh. Some days I'm 30%. Some days I'm 90%.
Yep.
Some days I'm 80%. And I think the older that we get, we can fully accept that every day is going to be different. The weather affects us.
Yes.
Hormones affect us. Now being in my 40s, sick parents affect us. Loss in family affects you. Like, these are all things that are going to drastically change what you're capable of carrying that day, how you're going to show up that day. And I think it's like, what do you approve of? Like, did you show up the best that you could with what you were given to work with that day?
Yeah.
And I think piecing together good weeks, or even like, what could make this somewhat of a win for a month, because you're going to have some really hard times, is just such a better way for me to look at it.
I love that. Thinking of it as a little bit bigger picture, zooming out and remembering, we hear this all the time, but everyone is sharing a highlight reel, right? So no one is doing it 100% all the time. And learning to ride those waves, right? Of today I have 100%, today I have 30%. That's something my doctor has been telling me to do for years to take care of myself better, because when we think of our hormones, when we think of our nervous system, when we are at 30% and we push and expect ourselves to give 100% and we don't change the expectation of ourselves, that's when we do damage, right? That's when we actually, if we keep doing that, that's when we reach burnout.
Yeah.
You're not your most creative on those days, you know? So I used to just still push myself. Like, I still have to get this done. Now, sometimes I'll be like, yeah, it's probably best if I just wrap it up for a few hours. Like, just this week, I was just exhausted, and I'm like, you know what? I could sit here and stare at this screen and try to pound this out, or I could go lay down for 10 minutes, put my phone away, or go for a 10-minute walk or a 20-minute walk, or recharge and either come back better tomorrow or come back better this afternoon.
Yep.
But we, keep ourselves to these schedules of,
I know,
and,
so bad.
and override what our body is telling us that it actually works against us. So I think
Totally.
actually tuning into that can lead us to be more successful, more productive, more proud of how we're showing up than less.
I definitely feel like once a month I have a day where it's like 2 p.m. and I'm like, we're done. Like I'm shutting the laptop. I don't care what I might just like go lay in bed. I might need to get out of the house. I might just go for a walk and not think of work the rest of the day, because when you get to that place where you're pushing and you're not creative, you're fooling yourself. You're not doing good work, and you're actually not doing any work.
Yes.
If you looked at what you did in the last 5 hours, you're like,
I've been learning that. Where I'm like,
what
this
did I
actually
do?
is not productive work anyways.
It's not even
but
good.
I'm checking the boxes.
Right.
Or I'm feeling like I'm giving.
And energetically, people feel you. They feel your emails. They feel how the video that you filmed during that. And don't get me wrong, I've had to film plenty of things, not in my greatest
When you're like,
state.
okay, turn it on.
Yeah, many of things. But I do think if you can, like, you're going to come back you're going to be able to do double the next day, because you actually gave yourself some room. Like you gave yourself some room to energize. So you had said consistency is one of the biggest things for women. Like and I know that. I mean, for myself too, like consistency in certain things in life. What would you say are some things that help people be more consistent? And what do you do inside the app that helps people be more consistent?
Yeah. Well, I love what you said about looking at your week, because I've noticed that a lot of people confuse consistency with perfection.
Interesting.
If I'm consistent, that means I'm perfectly hitting my goals,
Yeah.
or I'm working out every day, or I'm perfectly working out 4 times a week, whatever your goal is. But really, consistency is just showing up over time regularly.
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't have to mean hitting it perfectly. And I think when you zoom out, that has been tremendously helpful for me to know that even some weeks, like this week, I'm hoping to get 2 workouts in. I've had kids home from school, sick kids. I've been traveling, but for me, that would be consistent this week.
Yeah.
And that's not a reason to beat myself up. It's not a reason to think I'm no longer consistent, no longer keeping up with my workouts, and just riding the waves of each week. Next week, I might be home more and have more workouts to fit in. I'm still consistent because I'm still showing up over time consistently.
Yep.
So I really like to help people zoom out and look a little bit bigger. It's not about every day. It's not even about each week. Look at yourself over a month, over a few months, over a year, over a few years. So our members stay with us for years and often say, this is the most consistent I've ever been with anything in my life. Part of that is from redefining what consistency looks like, and allows them to avoid that all or nothing trap of, oh, I didn't do what I said I was going to do this week. So forget it all. I'm going to, take a few more weeks off, and then I'll get back to it after Christmas, or I'll get back to it in the new year. When you're not stuck in that all or nothing mentality, you just pick back up. You just keep picking back up. We also promote short workouts. So again, some people might be like, ugh, no way. But as little as 10 minutes, we promote 10-minute workouts. And I'm telling you, I believe in this. I've been saying it for over a decade, and I will stand by it forever. Never underestimate the power of 10-minute workouts.
It's true.
And there's so many reasons for this, right? Not only do we know that 10 minutes of movement can be beneficial, you're going to get your circulation going, your lymphatic fluid, your mood is going to boost, all of these things. But we also know that from like a behavioral psychology standpoint, that it just makes it so much easier to say yes. So you're sitting there, you're tired, it's the end of your workday. If someone said, you're going to go do an hour workout at the gym, or can you do 10 minutes at home?
Yep.
You're so much more likely to say, okay, I'll do that 10 minutes. And what that does for you in terms of the identity it creates for you. The identity piece, right?
Absolutely.
I am a person who works out. I am a person that does roll out my mat at the end of the day, even when I don't feel like it, even if it's only for 10 minutes. That builds over time. And often there's the magical effect that once you've started, you're happy to hit press play on another 10-minute workout. Then you've got 20, 25 minutes that you just did, and you wouldn't have done it otherwise if it was between committing to a long, sweaty hour at the gym. So it works from an identity point of view. It works from a practicality point of view, 10 minutes in your hotel room when you're traveling. And it works from a building confidence in yourself that, oh, I am a person who can continue to show up and fit this into my life no matter how busy I am.
I approve this message. Because one of the big things for me, how I view that as well is, are you staying in momentum? Because momentum is one of the hardest things to get, again, once you stop. And so 10 minutes keeps you in momentum, which means, number one, when you, let's talk about when you lose momentum, when you haven't worked out for, let's say all of a sudden it's been 6 months, the hump that you feel you have to get over of starting over and not doing a workout at all. Just like that brain leap from like 0 to, oh my gosh, I haven't done this. This isn't a habit. It's not a routine. Like, that's challenging. You've now created a mountain for yourself. I get it. And not saying it can't be done. It absolutely can be. It is every day. But you've now created a mountain.
Mentally,
it's very far away.
A lot
Mentally,
harder.
It can feel like a mountain. And your body's tired. It hasn't moved that way in a long time. You feel weaker when you go back, where 10 minutes, if you're doing this all the time, even when you go back to your hour workout or your 45-minute workout or whatever you choose, your body can do it. Because you've kept the strength up. And it's not a mountain to your brain going, I haven't done this in so long. I haven't been consistent. Oh, this is who I am. I'm not consistent, so I might as well not start. Your brain now says, oh, I am consistent. I've been doing these 10-minute workouts, so I can do the 45-minute workout. I haven't lost anything because I've kept it with these 10 minutes. You literally stay in momentum with 10 minutes. That's why even, I was still doing some lifting, but then walking, and I never got out of it. I was like, you can walk as much as you want, but you can't never not walk every day. You have to walk every day. And during some really hard seasons, because I was still making myself take a 3-mile walk every day, I never got out. So even though I stopped lifting, I actually did for a year a little while ago. And that was insane for me because, that's my whole identity. And because I walked every day, though, I was able to like go back when I felt ready. Because I never felt out of momentum.
Right.
I
you were still in a rhythm of taking care of yourself. Yep. I love that. I love the concept of momentum and bringing that into it. It's also the easiest way to break a streak, right? So if you fall on a momentum, again, I will get into this, right? Even if I've just been traveling or I've been sick and I'm just out of routine, that 10 minutes is like, okay, just do 10 minutes. Do not try to tell yourself you have to go to the gym. You have to do all these things. Just roll out your mat and do 10 minutes and that'll break the streak. All of a sudden it's broken. And you're back in your routine and you can kind of ease in from there. And I feel like this applies to so many areas of life, right? We do it for exercise and it's what makes people feel like, wow, this is so easy to be consistent. But the same can be true for other goals that you have that you're working towards, whether it's in business, marriage, relationships, nutrition, all of those things.
I do that with reading all the time. I'm a 10-minute girl. Like, I'm like, okay, you haven't read a book in like 2 or 3 months. You really need to pick a book up. And I'm like, just 10 minutes in the morning. And a lot of times I don't get it every day. I'm like, okay, you did 3 times this week, but just get back to 10 minutes.
That's me with journaling. I'm the same. I want to journal. It's so good for me. But so I'm just like, just 5 or 10 minutes. Just give yourself.
I start small all the time. Like I think probably way more, and it sounds like you do too, way more than people realize, but it's what's kept me consistent is just these tiny little, teeny tiny little things.
It's the secret. I'm telling you, it is the secret to consistency. And we hear so many messages that intensity matters more than consistency, or we get confused that being consistent means being perfect. But consistency over time, that's how I've built my business. That's how I've built our community. I say I've been showing up for 10 years saying the same thing. For 10 years, the same thing.
It's everything. It's everything in business, you guys.
And that when people ask me what the secret is, I'm like, I'm just still saying the same thing. I'm still leading the community that I want to lead and showing up and doing it consistently. We recently, because a lot of things have changed, like in social media and the algorithm and email, and it's harder to be seen right now. And so I was kind of almost slipping into the narrative of a lot of people around me going, it's harder. Oh my gosh, this is, maybe this is the beginning of the end of things feeling. And I just had this moment where I was like, but how much am I showing up? Like, how much is it my identity that I'm filling a mastermind? How much is it my identity that I am filling, that I'm fundraising right now? And when I switched to talking about it every day, guess what happened? It became easy. And I'm like, oh, there's all the people. And I've made it. So I'm like, what am I not making my identity
that I'm believing is like hard, you know?
If you're anything like me, you have the best intentions during the holiday to get somebody that special gift that makes them feel so thought about. But then time runs out and you feel like you're left with a gift that's not going to feel important. You guys, this is where Aura Frames is the solution to do it quickly, but also give a gift that feels so incredibly personal. So who are you always struggling to shop for? You guys, Aura Frames are so incredible because you can upload unlimited photos and video. Just download the Aura app and connect to Wi-Fi, and immediately you can start personalizing your Aura frames for that special person on your list that you really want to feel thought about. You can preload photos before it ships, you guys. You can keep adding them from anywhere at any time and really personalize this gift and message before it even arrives at their house. So you can't wrap togetherness, but you can frame it. For a limited time, save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off Aura's best-selling Carver matte frames named #1 by Wirecutter by using promo code EARN at checkout. That's AURA frames.com, promo code EARN. This deal is exclusive to listeners and frames sell out fast. So order yours now to get it in time for the holidays. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply. Some of the most important business advice that I have ever gotten is to make sure that I have a solid foundation when I set up my business. And this is what we tell every entrepreneur that we run into, because your business identity is everything that shows what your business is about, from what customers see to what they don't see, like legal paperwork, website security, and state licenses. Get more for your business, more privacy, more tools, more guidance with Northwest Registered Agent. Northwest Registered Agent has been helping entrepreneurs launch and grow businesses for nearly 30 years. They're the largest registered agent and LLC service in the US with over 1,500 corporate guides. Real people who know your local laws and can help you and your business every step of the way. Build your business identity fast, and for just $39 plus state fees, get an LLC, domain name, business email, local phone number, business address, registered agent, and compliance in just 10 clicks and 10 minutes. Don't wait. Protect your privacy, build your brand, and get your complete business identity in just 10 clicks and 10 minutes. Visit www.northwestregisteredagent.com/paid earn and start building something amazing. Get more with Northwest Registered Agent at www.northwestregisteredagent.com/paid earn. With the holidays and the new year coming, you probably are looking around your house thinking that you would love to upgrade and freshen up your environment. And there is no easier way to do that than with your window treatments. Nobody covers windows better than Blinds.com. Blinds.com brings your space to life in your way. They have free design help. Other retailers may claim to have experts, but Blinds.com has spent nearly 30 years building an award-winning team of over 100 design consultants that are ready to help you create your dream space. Always convenient, always tailored to you. 3 ways to shop, 1 perfect fit. Whether you want to DIY, have it all done for you, or you're somewhere in between, choose what works for you and rest easy knowing the fit is guaranteed. So the holidays come fast, you guys, and you can freshen up your window treatments fast as well. And unlike some competitors, the price you see is the price you pay. No hidden fees, and there's zero pressure. From blackout and motorized options to classic shutters, Blinds.com has window treatments for every room, style, and budget, even shades for your outdoor space. The Black Friday deals at Blinds.com are going strong all month long, so don't miss your chance to save big. And as always, our listeners still get $50 off when you spend $500 or more. Just use code EARN at checkout. Limited time offer. Rules and restrictions apply. See Blinds.com for details. 2026 is the year you launch your business. It's the time that you finally stop thinking about that big idea and you actually put it out into the world. There is no better time than fresh new energy when people are excited and they're excited to learn more and buy what you have. You guys, maybe you have that idea that you can't shake. Maybe it's something that everyone tells you that you should do. With Shopify in 2026, that's when you're finally going to make it happen. Shopify gives you everything you need to sell online and in person. millions of entrepreneurs have already made this leap from household names to first-time business owners just getting started. And you guys, my company Glossy is among them. And you better believe I have my Shopify notifications turned on so I can hear that chime every single time a sale comes in. Shopify gives you all the tools to easily build your dream store. Choose from hundreds of beautiful templates that you can customize to match your brand. Setup is fast with Shopify's built-in AI tools that write product descriptions and headlines and help you edit product photos. Marketing is built in too. Create email and social campaigns that reach customers wherever they scroll. As you grow, Shopify grows with you. Handle more orders, expand to new markets, and do it all from the same dashboard. In 2026, stop waiting and start selling with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/happy. Go to shopify.com/happy. That's shopify.com/happy. Hear your first this new year with Shopify by your side.
Honestly, it's been the craziest thing just even recently in the last 2 weeks with this fundraise, because I was like, oh gosh, are the people there? Mm-hmm. And so I've made it every day for the last 2 weeks. And guess what? Like a flood of people every day, consistently. Messy. Yeah. Like showing up very messy, you guys. Like, I don't know how am I supposed to talk about this?
Yeah.
Like, what is this going to feel like or look like? Is this going to feel desperate? Is this like all the things that can go through your head? And it's just, I am turning myself into a person who identifies with showing up every day, no matter how small it is, on the thing that has been, that I've been doubting. And I think that that's been really game changing for me. And I've been writing it on a, like the Post-it note boards and leaving it on an easel. And I leave it up so that I see it every day while I'm working. And I go back to it at night and I go, did I do these things that make me proud? Even if they're like really small. And I know this is crazy. I've been doing these things for so long, but this little shift the last 2 weeks was such a reminder of don't get caught up in what other people are saying, or that it's hard to work out, or, you slip out of routine so easy. Yeah, but have you found that thing that works for you? Have you found the 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Have you tried Robin's app?
Yeah.
Like there's support out there. There's things that you can do.
You know what else I love about that is it's the accountability piece too. I think because we consume so much of what other people are doing these days, I don't know about you, but I'm thinking about my message constantly. I'm writing about it in emails, or I'm consistently working on our brand, our content, but I'm not always saying it as much as I think I am.
Same.
So that's exactly, like, I love that sometimes I think we think we're doing more in our head because we're thinking about it all of the time. And that's something that we've been talking about at Lindywell, is like, we've been saying this for a long time and our members and our community knows it, but are we saying it enough externally that everyone out there who hasn't yet found Lindywell really knows what we're about?
I know. I had that moment looking at my social and I was like, what would a brand new person landing on our social media say? Would they know exactly what is most important to us and what we do? And the answer was no.
That's what we're
working on right now.
Same. We were talking about the same thing. Or would they know what actually makes us unique?
Yep.
Because we've got a lot of great engagement, a lot of great shares, a lot of great things going on our public social media accounts. But would they come there and know what makes us different from another Pilates app out there? I think we have work to do there. But doesn't mean I'm not thinking about it constantly. I'm not saying it constantly. I'm not writing about it constantly, but it's not showing up maybe everywhere as much as we need to. And I think that that's just true for so many brands, is we don't realize just how much we have to be explicitly clear about who we are, what we're here to do, who we're here to serve, and specifically what makes us unique compared to every other piece of content that they're consuming.
Yeah. And so like, you're going to feel like, I'm already feeling this way and I've only been doing it for like literally 2 weeks, but I feel less tired because I feel like, I'm doing my job and I'm not thinking, how do I do it? How do I say it? You know how you do it? You do it messy.
Yeah.
And then you start to see what resonates with your audience. And then all of a sudden you're starting to get all these messages and things that reflect back that, it's working and people are understanding. And then you feel so in alignment. Like you start to feel, you get tired when you can tell you're a little bit out of alignment with like maybe not doing the things or speaking what you want. And this goes right back to working out. You guys, some of you are exhausted because you're not keeping a promise, and you really, really, really want to be the person who takes care of herself. You really, really want to be the person who shows up in their business, but you're probably having the expectation that you need to do so much at once. And honestly, 10 minutes on something scary in your business, move the needle, send the email, like show up on social media, 10 minutes
right
in your app doing Pilates. Like, it's so much less than you think, but more consistent.
Yes
Is the game changer.
And your identity will shift.
Your identity shifts.
And you will show up in a different way.
For sure. So let's talk about, I just want to hit on nutrition for a hot second, because you have the Nourished Reset meal guide. And I know for a lot of people, like, I do think the movement a lot of times is kind of the one that I think can really kind of shift you even spiritually. It can reconnect you back to your body. It can make you feel like you're in momentum. But then some people get really, they can get frustrated because maybe they don't see a result, and you really want to see a result, even though you're feeling it and you're happy and you're more proud.
Yeah.
A lot of times that food piece is really big too. And man, this goes so deep on such an identity level of our family and of, feeling comforted. Oh my gosh, you guys, I thought I couldn't even like go to family or friends' homes without, have joy without food. Like this has been such a thing for me. So let's talk about the reset and tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah. It's called the Nourished Reset, and it's a 4-week guided nutrition program. And I created it for our community who's been, trusting the Lindywell way with workouts for years and knowing they want more nutrition guidance as well, but feeling like we are all overwhelmed with information. We have more information than ever.
It's insane
when it comes to nutrition, but none of us know what to do.
Everyone's telling me not to eat everything.
Do this, don't do that.
So good, and now I'm so sad.
Totally. Eat all this protein, but actually don't, because your kidneys. And then,
my meat comes in a container.
Yes, exactly. It's literally paralyzing.
It's paralyzing.
And I've been hearing this from our community of like, I feel like I don't even know what to do anymore. I'm just kind of in this stuck place. Everything, I second guess all my choices. So the goal with the Nourished Reset was to help cut out the noise. Let's simplify nutrition again, because again, most people, when you're taking in all of this information, we're hearing from people who are teaching you how to optimize and how to do this and how to do that. We can't actually put it together into those small steps that are actually going to move the needle the most, right? What is the saying that you can major in the minors, right? So many of us will start focusing on these big, lofty things that don't actually move the needle as much as focusing on some of the foundational nutritional principles. So my goal with the reset was to help people cut out the noise, provide a clear path for how to nourish yourself well. And of course, it's done in the Lindywell way. So we are pushing back on diet mentality, diet culture. We are not going into this with this maybe traditional like cleanse temporary mindset. Instead, it is let's learn the foundations of nutrition, how we can truly care for ourselves well, and how we can set ourselves up to do it for a lifetime. So it's not a quick fix. It's not a trendy, like 4 weeks and you're done. You're going to learn how to fuel yourself, how to fill your plate with the right kinds of foods for energy, how to support your metabolic health, reduce inflammation. And it's really an educational program. But what we do in the first week, the first module, is identity work because of what you're saying. Before you even can make lasting change with food, you first have to uncover, what is your relationship with food? What is your belief about yourself when it comes to food? It runs really deep for us, especially as women. And so that is the most powerful shift that we make in the program. Honestly, it surprises people. But once we do that together in that first week and start to shift some of those identity and start living as our future self, our healthiest self right away, then once we start to get into the nutrition components, the meal prep, like the really practical stuff, you're coming at it from a completely different point of view and a different mindset that actually allows you to make changes. So for me, it's been just really powerful to kind of take our fitness approach and apply it to food and help people bring it back to the basics and focus on, where do we start first? Build those habits. Then you can go optimize. Then you can go, specialize from there. But let's first get the foundations that are holding most of us back from feeling our best.
It's really crazy. You're talking about like inflammation. I was just thinking, when I moved from the Midwest to California, I noticed that I was eating out more in California, but we were eating at, like, we were choosing really healthy restaurants because there were the options. We didn't have that where we lived at all in the Midwest 15 years ago. When we moved 15 years ago to California, and they had this restaurant next to us called True Food. This is not an advertisement for them because actually it's totally changed since then, but still okay. But we would go eat there all the time. And I was eating way more food, and I was feeling so much better because what I didn't understand at first when I started eating there is that restaurant concept was about reducing inflammation. So everything on the menu was about like non-inflammatory foods.
Right.
And when I would eat there, I was like, wait, I'm not bloated. I feel amazing. I've actually lost weight living here. I'm eating more. I'm eating out. Mm-hmm. And so even just what you said, my moods like completely changed. And I thought I knew about nutrition, but even just focusing on things like some of us get so freaked out about like, oh God, it's January, or we want to cut back, or food, like in order to lose weight, you're miserable.
Yes.
Like that's, you're calorie restricted, which means I'm even more tired, which means my workouts get harder. All of these things, you feel like you have no joy.
Yeah.
I can't go do anything.
Totally.
And just even a perspective shift of what if I focused on just like lowering my inflammation?
Yeah.
Like I don't have to think about calories.
Yes.
I don't have to think about anything like that. Like I could just be a woman who wants to take better care of herself through her food, which means let's just like lower the inflammation in our bodies and brains through our food. That's been such a shift for me.
Yes.
So I love that you talk about that because instead of restriction,
it changes everything.
There are ways to focus on food that are not restrictive that change the game for you.
Yes. And that's why we say, let's focus on nourishment over restriction. Because it's the same thing, whether you're focusing on reducing inflammation or the language we use is when we focus on really nourishing ourselves. Mm-hmm. It's so much more, again, motivating actually and life-giving to look at food from that angle of, okay, how can I nourish myself with this meal? Is this the most nourishing choice I can make right now? Mm-hmm. That is a completely different point of view than I shouldn't have that. That's so bad for me. I can't have that. Mm-hmm. That's a completely different experience. And you'll be able to stick with that I can't have that restriction point of view for a short period of time, but not forever. And it is something we have to do for a lifetime. Yeah. Just like exercise. We have to do this forever. Mm-hmm. It's not like one and done. And we crave that one and done. We crave that quick fix or a quick cleanse or thing. But the reality is this is our life. And when we're really doing it to thrive in life, to be the best partner we can be, the best version of ourselves we can be, the healthiest for as long as possible. Mm-hmm. Focusing on nourishment is a game changer. And so that's one of the things we do in the program that I just love. How can you nourish yourself? Like fuel your gut health, fuel your body with enough food so that you can build muscle and preserve your bone as you age. These are the things that actually matter. If you're in an age of fertility, how can you fuel your body to support that? How can you see this as a benefit in your life and something that you're enjoying versus like this constant battle with yourself of restriction and like you said, sucking all the joy out of your life.
For sure.
That's never gonna lead to true wellness.
No. Another big one is just like looking at my plate and being like, what mood am I eating right now? Like, so instead of looking at my food, I'm like, okay, if I could always know, which we do know, how will I feel after I eat this? So like, what is the mood that I'm about to eat? Mm-hmm. And so I think of that a lot with like sugar or alcohol. Don't get me wrong. I love some cocktails, but like it has helped me cut way back on drinking. Cause I'm like,
cause you take that moment to be like, you know what? It's not,
I don't want to drink anxiety. Yeah. Like I don't want to feel anxious all day tomorrow.
Yes.
Like, my life's a little too stressful.
Do you feel that after alcohol? I do.
Yes. Yeah. Not all the time, but like if I'll tend to have a cocktail on a Friday and a Saturday, but when I hit 2, I'm going to feel anxious.
Yeah. The anxiety the next day is different.
Totally.
Such a bummer.
For sure. Such a bummer. So during the week, like if I have heavy weeks, I'm like, no, you can't handle.
Yeah. You can't afford
You're not going to be able to handle how you feel tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And your goals deserve more than that.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, your goals deserve something else. So go have a mocktail or go figure that out. Mm-hmm. A lot of the food I eat, I'm like, is that anxious? Is that lethargy? Is that going to be, I'm eating nap time at 3 p.m.? Yeah. Like it's a very different way to look at your food and going, crap. Yeah. Like that sounds good, but I don't want to sacrifice how I'm going to feel or,
that little bit of awareness
who you
can
are.
go a long way. Yeah. And then we even talk about in the program how, okay, when you do want to indulge, how can we do it mindfully?
Yeah.
How can we do it in a way that's going to still help you feel your best, right? So is there a way you can do it where you have some protein with it, some, balance it out so that the blood sugar spike isn't so intense as maybe it was if we just went straight to the afternoon piece of cake and then want to fall asleep an hour later, So learning how your body works is really empowering.
For sure.
For how you can best take care of yourself and show up the way you want to show up. Because like what you said about alcohol, it's like to manage what I have to manage each day.
Yeah.
With the kids and with work and with the pressures, I need every ounce of energy I can find. And of course, I don't always nail it. I do have days where I'm like, well, like last night, shouldn't have ate those frozen waffles, probably when I got home last night. Like that was just, didn't have dinner.
Happens.
That's where I was. No guilt, no shame.
Yeah.
But I'm very aware of like, I need to do as much as I can to support myself if I want to show up and lead the way I want to lead, have the energy to do what I want to do, to move the mission forward of my company, to be the mom, the friend, the spouse, the long list of things that we all carry each day.
Yeah. I don't want to be so clear. Like you guys listening, like I definitely choose things I like know I shouldn't be choosing every single week, but also like the awareness and intention makes me do it way less.
That's
like
the goal.
Way less. And that's the goal. And that's my goal my goal is it is absolutely not to be perfect. In fact, like I know that like on date night each week, I'm having a cocktail with my husband. Yeah. And I love it.
That's a form of nourishment,
like,
right? That is when you sit there and you enjoy it and you are in the moment and you taste it and you sip it and it's a experience you're having with your husband. That's what I teach in the program. That's nourishment.
Yeah.
That is a form of nourishment. And so when we get stuck in the good, bad, should, shouldn't, that's when we find ourselves in unhealthy patterns that are hard to break out of.
For sure. That narrative is like, I really watch how much I'm saying, am I perfect? Am I not perfect? And it's like, no, how you just chatted about like somewhat balance, but balance to me is like, there's, very different definitions, but okay. How can we learn more about your app? So tell me about that.
Yeah. So you can go to lindywell.com. That's where you'll find everything about our app. We also are in the App Store and we have Pilates workouts in there. We have more weight training workouts in there as well. We call it Pilates inspired weight training.
Fun.
Because kind of what you mentioned, we've had a lot of people requesting more weights, but also we're doing it with our awareness of our core, our posture, our alignment, our breath. We're kind of bringing the Pilates principles into lifting. So you get the most out of each movement and hopefully avoid injury. And then we also have breath work in there for nervous system support and recipes. And there's a monthly calendar in there. So when we come back to that thought of consistency, or for us as high achievers, entrepreneurs, decision fatigue is real, right? So the goal with the monthly calendar is that you can open the app, follow it. The workout of the day pops up right there. It's 30 minutes or less. You just do it. You can trust that we've put together a well-rounded calendar for the month that's going to really work your whole body. And I love that about it because, again, I think that helps with the consistency. You don't have to go figure out what should I do today and then get distracted on YouTube or wherever you might be looking for a workout. So you can find us there and find a great community. And I'd be happy to chat with anyone about Pilates or this approach to balanced living that is more focused on nourishment than restriction. I think we all deserve it.
Oh my God. I've loved this conversation, not only for obviously health, but so much around business can be taken from this. Like this was such a beautiful just conversation around not beating yourself up and getting so much further through grace. It's changed my entire life. I know that it's going to be sustainable. I know that it's gotten me a lot more results and a lot more happiness along the way. And I'm absolutely not perfect at that, but I lean more towards it now in my life, which has been so helpful. So I'm so grateful for you.
What I love that you shared is that it's not taking away from your drive, right? It's not taking away from what you're setting out to do. It's just approaching it in a way that's going to allow you to do it at the top of your game and to do it for as long as possible without burnout. And I think that's such an important distinction for people to hear.
Yeah. It's letting me rest more in between rather than like go all in and quit, go all in and quit.
Yes.
So it's more of this rest mentality and then pick up strong.
Yeah.
So, and it's completely changed my life. So I'm so grateful for you.
Oh, thank
Robin,
you.
we're going to link everything below. So you guys, if you want to learn more about her app, if you want to learn more about the Nourished Reset, that's all going to be linked below. So you can just click below in the show notes. And I will also link up her Instagram so you can go follow there. And until next time, earn your happy. Bye, everyone.